What's up, guys? Flying solo today. Ryan and Jake aren't here. We got a lot of questions coming in, so I'm gonna start covering one of them, so that way we get some questions answered, get you guys the answers that you're looking for. First question we got coming in has to do with metabolism. The question asked, how do I increase my metabolism? Common question. The question comes up all the time, wondering how do I increase my energy output in my body so that way I can lose weight, because a higher metabolism usually means that you can lose weight easier, or you're a smaller person because you're burning more energy at rest. So what I think the question really is asking for, how do I increase my metabolism, is how do I increase the energy that I'm expending daily so that way I can either lose weight, because energy in, energy out, if we're expending more than we are taking in, we will lose weight. Or for someone that's looking to maintain weight, that wants to eat more food, if they increase the amount of food that they are burning, increasing the energy, they can eat more while staying the same weight. That would be for someone that's already lost weight, or who knows what. So first of all, to kind of understand what metabolism is, we kind of have to explain it. So what is a metabolism? A metabolism is basically a broad term that sums up all of the metabolic functions in our body, which sounds kind of redundant because metabolism, metabolic, what does it all mean? So our bodies function, we have all these cells, these muscle cells, these neurons, these, everything, skin cells, epithelial cells, all of them require energy to function. So if our brain wants to send a signal down to my finger to do this, that takes energy. Or if I'm sitting here repping out a bench press and my biceps and my pecs and my shoulders need to put out energy to get that bar up, that is going to be expended energy, add to our metabolism. In every cell, we also have these like ribosomes that are making proteins. We have, who knows, we have cells going under apoptosis all the time. There's tons of different cellular things going on in our body all at once. And all of this takes energy. That's measured in either joules, kilojoules, kilocalories. For what our purposes is, we're going to talk about kilocalories because that is the nutritional calorie that goes with the calories in, calories out debate or hypothesis, whatever you want to call it, for weight loss. So, that being said, how do I increase this? Now that we know it's just the sum of all of these things, how do I make it higher? How do I make that energy output increase? Lots of different ways that we can do this. Anything that takes the body out of its normal state, or what's called homeostasis, and requires it to bring itself back into homeostasis, is usually going to require energy. Whenever that energy is expended, that's extra energy on top of our normal basal metabolic rate, so that will add to the increased metabolic rate. Burn more calories. Lots of different ways to do this. You can exercise. Exercise in and of itself creates a stress on the body, your muscles. The fibers are trying to pull apart from each other. If you're doing like doing an eccentric motion, it's going down. Those fibers are holding on, trying to pull each other apart. Or if you're pushing something, those fibers are also getting closer. You are using energy from those muscle cells. When you do this, it requires energy to the muscle cells themselves. When you require them, or when they are required to use energy, then you increase your metabolism because you increase your energy. On top of the exercise can actually be used to increase like your resting metabolic rate for like weight training, because when you put on muscle, when you add muscle to your frame, you add muscle cells. When you add muscle cells, just purely adding cells will increase the rate or the energy that your body is using because you have more cells. Cells use energy. Increase the amount of cells, you increase the energy output. That's another way to do it. Besides exercising, tons of different ways too. You can, I don't know, strain really hard on a poop. You're sitting on the toilet, strain really hard. You're gonna use energy because you're clenching muscles again. You're trying to get something through your sphincter, which actually kind of squeezing is gonna close your sphincter off, which is gonna make pooping harder. But that's besides the point. I'm not here to tell you how to poop. Other than that, you could jump in an ice bath. You jump in an ice bath, you're like, or jump in a frozen lake. You get cold. Your body needs to warm itself up. How's it going to do that? It's going to produce heat. Heat is energy. When you need to produce heat, you produce more energy. Produce more energy, you increase your metabolic rate. So one way is just get cold. Freeze. I don't know. Jump in a lake and then put a fan on yourself. I don't know. Somehow, get yourself cold. That will do it. Or, on the other hand, get yourself warm. Sit in a sauna. When you're sitting in a sauna, your body's roasting. It's sweating. You're going to be using a lot more. It's got to produce the sweat to come out. It's got to try to cool itself down. Your heart rate's going to pump faster. It needs to bring blood to the surface of the skin so that way it can cool a little bit. This is all going to increase your metabolic rate. Supplements. I err a word of caution on this. You can increase your metabolic rate by taking supplements. You can take something like caffeine that's going to increase your heart rate, which pumping your heart faster is going to take more energy, increase your metabolic rate. I'm not recommending this just for the pure fact that it's not sustainable. You're not going to want to do this for long times, plus just sitting there with your heart pumping, something like ephedra is not going to be good for you long term, nor is it really going to be something that you want to instill because it's kind of like cheating. And plus, for the amount that you're going to get from it, it's not going to be enough to really make a difference unless it's illegal, which I'm staying well away from that subject. So that is a bunch of different ways that you can increase your metabolic rate. You can burn more calories because in the end, it does really come down to calories in, calories out. So if we can increase the calories out, then you can lose weight. So hopefully that answers your question about how do I increase my metabolic rate. Jump in a lake that's frozen, get in an ice bath, sit in a sauna, start working out, put on some muscle if you want to increase your resting metabolic rate. Go for a run, that'll increase your metabolic rate. So that's a bunch of different ways. Hopefully that answers it. Check out the website, www.beingfitfitness.com. Otherwise, my personal blog site, www.nickburgraff.com. Leave your questions at the link below. We'll be sure to get them answered. We'll keep you anonymous unless you really want us to call you out, then we can. Other than that, talk to y'all later.